What's up, YouTube? And this is George Machado, owner and founder of Pro Play Games. Wanted to address something that recently happened with one of our sponsored players on my way back from Miami, actually. I got a pretty long drive ahead of me just to see some friends and family, and I figured I'd take this time to kind of clear up some questions and things that happened in regard to one of our sponsored players, Jerome Porter, and his actions this weekend, and kind of our thought process and decision towards the whole thing, and kind of what went down. So, as you know, Jerome Porter, he was one of our players on the sponsored Yu-Gi-Oh team. He was one of the later recruits, not when we first founded the team, but I think he's been around for about 6-7 months. And he was referred to by some of our existing players. He had a lot of tops. I mean, I think he had the second most tops. He used to have the most amount of tops in B team, so he wasn't even on A team yet. He was on B team, working his way up to A team, and had a lot of ARG tops, a good amount of Konami tops, and it seemed like a prospective player to add on to the team. But as time progressed, we kind of saw that he really wanted to. He had a large strive to be on A team, to be on the best, with the best players in the world on there, and he was going to every ARG and Konami event until he was banned for. I think he was banned while he was still with us, and we knew about it. He got banned from Konami for a decklist error. He wrote something, he forgot to write a card or something, and had a dispute with the judge, something like that, and he was banned for about a year or something, like a very small ban. It was one of the shorter amount of bans, and we knew that. We weren't going to kick him off because of that. I mean, we've had players that have been banned or are like everybody does their mistakes. If it wasn't for something like cheating, and if it wasn't for something like stealing or anything like that, and they're banned from the company, then we make exceptions from time to time depending on how regular they can make it out to competitive events like ARGs, for example. He would go to every single ARG, and really wanted to play in Konami. His ban was actually just about up, actually, and the next month it would have been up. And it was unfortunate that he had to go and resort to something like theft, which is what he ultimately got released from Pro Play Games sponsored team for, and it's something that's not acceptable. We don't make exceptions for these type of actions. We don't condone any of these actions. We don't want anybody associated with us doing things of this caliber. This is the third time that we've had to release a player because of their actions outside of the playing field. And the first one being Alessandro for his vulgar comments online, threats online, even though it was all in the nature of kidding around. As you know, the internet is very serious business. Very serious, and anything you say can be taken out of context at times, and if you're on the other side of that, then it could be unfortunate. But it just goes to show that we have no tolerance for things like that, and we don't want our brand, our image, Ultra Pro's image, any of our branding that we've taken a long time to build up, and we're worldwide, so we don't want any of this negative image to be reflected on us, or that we condone any of this, because none of this is okay, which is why we've had to make these adjustments. And another thing to kind of touch up on is I've seen a lot of comments about why is it Pro Play Games players with these type of things surrounded around them. Well, the truth is it's not always our team, it's other teams. I know Jobber has had Patrick James banned from Konami for publicly cheating on stream. You've had other players from other teams get banned for all types of things. It doesn't have to do with just one team. It's unfortunate that we've gotten struck 3 times with, something like this in the 2-year span that we've been up. But unfortunately, you can't control a lot of these players and what they do outside of, their normal, dueling life or competitive atmosphere. Sometimes they go and they don't think, about the repercussions of their actions or anything like that. We take a lot of consideration when recruiting these type of players. We talk to a lot of other players that know these people a lot better than we do before we go on and we recruit them and we give them the benefits that they get for being on the best team in the world. Because we know that if we're not recruiting the right type of person, that it could be scrutinized in the community, and we don't want anything like that. So it's unfortunate we don't have a crystal ball to know what these players are going to do in the future. Bad life events can be happening to them. They might really need the money. They might really need they might not be thinking. They might be very heated in the moment, and they just want to say something like what Corey said, and threaten to threaten people's lives, and whatever the case is. And people in these times can do a lot of things that they regret and that they don't really mean, but it can happen to anyone. It's not just, hey, why do these guys, condone it? No, we don't condone any of this. Unfortunately, we don't have much control of what people do with their lives. No one does. Everybody's their own person. And to go and blame it on a certain, individual or entity for, encouraging or facilitating things like this is, couldn't be further from the truth, to be honest. It's just unfortunate circumstances that can happen with anybody, and a few of these people have happened to represent us and no longer represent us, because we don't condone any of this, and we don't want any of our players to be tied to this. So as soon as we see a problem, we nip it as fast as we can, and we damage control, and that's all you really can do. And companies do it all the time. Professional sports teams do it all the time. Patriots do it all the time. There's some things that you don't have much control over. And at the end of the day, we're here to, help these players, the talented players, to really get somewhere. And we feel like with all the benefits that we provide to players, if they really earn it, they're good players, and they really put in the time and effort to be very, skilled at their practice, whatever it is, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Force of Will, Pokemon, whatever the card game or, video game is. We do sponsor some Super Smash players, some League of Legends players. We want them to be the best that they can be, and it's unfortunate when some of those players really don't think twice about the repercussions to our brand, Ultra Pro's brand, and our image, and what the community would say about it when doing these type of things. But like I said, we recruit people very heavily. We take a lot of consideration when recruiting players. We get applications every day to be part of the team, and we do as much as we can to try to weed out the bad seeds. And unfortunately, there'll never be 100% foolproof way to just shut out these type of people from being attracted to this empire that we've built, the best team in the world. Like, who doesn't want to be a part of that? So we understand this happening. It doesn't make it okay. That's why we've quickly released him and released everybody else with similar actions like this. But that's not going to stop us from giving people a chance and recognizing their talent. And as long as they have good standing in the community, they always have a spot with us that's pretty much it. I just wanted to touch up on this for a little bit and let you guys know. I know the YouTube community might not be directly connected with the Facebook community. I know most of this happened on Facebook. We shared it on all our groups. We didn't try to keep this secret. We wanted to let as many people know that we're trying to uphold the integrity of the trading card community. As you guys know, if you follow us on Facebook, we always try to hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we try to provide, higher excellence and higher service and higher everything to the community, because we feel like we're the new standard in gaming, and we have a lot of eyes on us, and we have a lot of fans, and we have a lot of people who are against us, and we understand that. But I just wanted to clear some air. I never had to really clear the air around like Alessandro or Corey or anything like that, but I think it's come to the point where something had to be said, at least from my perspective, as far as instead of other people kind of defending it and using common sense, because a lot of people don't use common sense, and they'll go out and say reckless things that are not true. Oh, PPG condones this. Oh, PPG Mafia, blah blah blah. It's none of this, and sometimes it's joking, and sometimes it's all in good fun, or, poking fun at it. You know how the Yu-Gi-Oh community can be kind of malicious with a lot of these things. But on a serious note, I just wanted to make this video, and just wanted to thank everybody who keeps supporting us. The best team in the world, still by far. We do have a few spots open on the team, so if you guys are interested in joining the team, we did have a few players go inactive that we had to remove as well. So shoot us your application. You could shoot it to our email or Facebook page, Pro Play Games, and we'll consider anybody with a pretty good resume. Hopefully something in champ rank, at least 3 or 4 tops, something like that. So let us know. Thank you guys for bearing through this video on my drive back here through traffic. It actually picked up a little bit, so I was actually like speeding and doing this at the same time. But thank you guys again, and